I'd love to hear where everyone's from. If anybody wants to post in the chat where you're calling in from, and that's all of us too. I mean, we're from all over. So I'd love to have us just post in the chat where we're from and what brought us here today.
Okay, well, I'm going to start with myself. I'm Kathy Tarchioni. I'm the CEO and founder of co-founder of the Golden Life community. This is a project that I've developed. Gosh, it's been a while, 2 years now, and we're very excited about it. So we're going to actually go into the presentation. Hi, Caitlin. Hi, how you doing? And so we're just going over it right now. And this is Dr. Angelica Christie. You can say who you are.
Oh, I'm just just putting some stuff in the chat, who I am and where I'm from. Yes, I am I take care of your mental, emotional, and your physical fitness on this beautiful, in this collective, on this platform. And I can't wait to give you all of me, all of.
And then we have, and she's the Chief Officer of Mind Body Optimization. Then we have Kelly Pratt, and Kelly is the President of the Golden Connections.
Hey everyone, I'm Kelly, and I'm kind of the resident geek for Golden Connections. I have been playing on the platform that Kathy has chosen to set up our virtual community for 7 years, and I was excited when I found it 7 years ago because it was created by a woman. And we don't find many tech spaces that were created by women, and I was real excited about that. And it has served me and my clients well. So I'm excited to get all of us 55 and older women playing online and getting connected. Yay. Yeah, I'm really excited.
And then we have Scott
Hi,
Winton.
I'm Scott Winton. I'm calling in from the West Texas town of El Paso, and grateful to be here.
He's the President of the Golden Spaces. Did I say that?
No, I should have said that. I apologize.
That's okay. And then then we have Beverly Glazer. Beverly is on our advisory. Oh, shoot. Sorry, folks.
Yeah,
That's
hi. I'm here and loving it. What I do is I've been helping women 55 plus in life management as a coach, as a therapist for over 30 years or so, because women struggle differently than men. And this is my passion. We've generally lost ourselves. We're not mothers. Oh, we are always mothers, but the children have left home. What's happened is there's so many life transitions. So this is what I do. And it's my joy and pleasure to anyone who's going through anything that has to do with literally life today. Where is your purpose? This is what I do.
And then then we have I'm going to introduce Jolly Beth. Jolly Beth is our VA. She has just been phenomenal. She is wonderful. She's really just on top of everything, and she's handling the back end of this celebration today. So we're going to be having a drawing, and she's great in it. Then we have Caitlin, who Caitlin is she's our actually she's our director of marketing and strategy. Say hi, Caitlin.
Unmute. There we go. Hello, everybody. Yes, my vision is how do we grow this and get more people in here? I came because my mother needs this, my aunts need this, my grandmother needed this until she passed away. Like, this is where women connect and find community. So really excited to be a part of this team.
And then we have we have Beth Miller. Beth is a host, and Beth is in our Golden Spaces. This is something you may not have known, but she's a dog-friendly expert, and she is setting up our wisdom dog parks in our Golden Spaces. Hi, Beth.
Hi, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day almost.
Yes, right. Okay, well, I think that's, and Tom, I'm sorry, Tom Myers. Tom is, he's a psychologist who has a program that we have customized for our our Goldens, and it's called the Golden Genius. It's an assessment, and everyone's going to be loving it when we go into detail on it. So that's it. Did you want to say hi, Tom?
Hi, everybody. I'm calling in from Jericho, Vermont, just outside of Burlington, and we'll be able to explain a little later about the Golden Genius. But it really looks at your personality, strengths, and then how does that all fit into kind of the universe, and what is the kind of the larger universe speaking to you, and how are you using your strengths and personality to be able to address your purpose. So it's nice to be able to kind of do that, and then have other coaches here with us that can pick up and help guide the Goldens on their way. So very exciting.
Oh, it certainly is. Excuse me. Okay. So today we're beginning with Dr. Angelica is going to be giving us a very inspirational message. Today we're here to celebrate the self-love of women over 55. And for you men that are here, we appreciate you being here because we know that you are here to support our women. It's a very important time for women over 55, for all women for that matter, to embrace their own self, embrace their self-love. And she has been providing such wonderful messages and support to all of us in the community right now. She will be giving us a special message. Then I will go over the the Golden Connections platform, which also has the dog connection in it as well, and the Golden Spaces. Then Kelly Pratt will be giving you an overview and questions at any time, by the way. This is more informal. This is like you being in our backyard or in our house. Whatever you want, what beverages you need. What do you want? Coffee? You want tea? And so then Kelly will be going over how the actual virtual platform works, which is called the Golden Connections. And this is for women worldwide, over 55, around the world that want to participate. And then the natural transition from the Golden Connections is to go into the Golden Spaces. And that's where Scott, who is the president of the Golden Spaces, he will give you an overview of what we envision for the physical spaces that our Goldens will be living in. And then we have Beverly Glazer, who Beverly has a network of women, and she's also a therapist. So she identifies what the women's needs are over 55 because she's also over 55. And she will talk about why it's important for a woman to have over 55 to have community, and in particular, why this community. I might want to say at this point that for those of you that are here, this is not a community like you would envision going online and going to a group and you're going to join a bingo and you're going to be doing all these different things. And you look at the community as a place where what are you going to do for me? Please, if that's what you're anticipating, this won't be for you. This is selected women who have a contributing mindset, that feel that they have gotten stuck and they need assistance, but they also have many skills that they would like to dust off and also contribute. So that's where we start from, and that's where our vision is, and that's where we work from. So we co-collaborate. We co-collaborate on the development of projects. Kathy Dirksen is here right now. We're co-collaborating on a book called Resilient Widows. And Kathy is actually the developer of that. We have a number of projects that we're putting together, but co-collaborating is a wonderful thing. So without further ado, I spoke too long. Let me bring on Dr. Angelica so she can give us this beautiful inspirational message. It's going to be about 15 minutes, folks, so stay with us. We have a lot to come and also prizes at the end.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Kathy. Yes, and I am excited. I have so many qualifications that I want to share abundantly. I'm not only a naturopathic doctor, but also a relationship coach and a spiritual advisor. So I call it the trinity of life, because our spiritual being is our true being. Our physical body is the vehicle through which we experience this incredible life. And our relationships are so, so important. And the most important relationship is the one you have with yourself, because you cannot divorce that, you cannot leave it. This is it. So you better develop a really good relationship with yourself. And since this is a pre-Valentine's celebration, I want to share with you what heroic self-love, what self-love is all about. And so from birth, really, until our last breath, we all search for love. We naturally search for love. We also search for happiness that love should bring to us. It's an attractive package that we think we can find somewhere outside of ourselves. So when you say you want to be happy, are you prepared to let go of what stands in the way? And what is it that keeps you wanting? So the quest for happiness is an internal journey to discover who and what you really are. Can I share a personal story with you here? I never forget that moment when my father held me in his arms, looked deep into my eyes and said, Angelica, live from the power within you. It can never be threatened. Soon thereafter, he died unexpectedly. And I was so angry with God for so long for taking my father away from me, because I loved him, I adored him, and he was only 64 years old at that time. It took decades until I fully realized the value of what he wanted me to know. Live from the power within you. It can never be threatened. So where do you find this power? Well, that power cannot be found in your head, because it's not in your mind. Your mind knows not who you are. It is your soul, yes, your soul, that holds the blueprint for your authentic and uncompromised life. So how do you access your soul? Real and immediate access is available through what I believe is your inner hero. Let me share a story that explains this. I will never forget that morning on my beach walk. I live right on the beach. I don't know if you can see that, but the beach is right there. I never forget that morning. The night before, I had a tough night. And on my walk, I was arguing with God, confronting forces within me and God. The lower part of me urged me to just return to the safety of my comfortable life at home after having spent more than 35 years in the health and healing business. And the other powerful impulse was really to step out even more and bring my mission out into the world in a bigger way. I remember the desperation I felt and the angst and this confusion. So I cried out to God to send me an unmistakable sign of what he wants from me. I remember how my heart felt. It felt as if a steel of blade was stabbing it. I actually wanted to die. It was so painful. But then, all of a sudden, everything changed. And a wave of exquisite love and gentleness flooded my entire body. My heart felt as if it was held in the invisible hands of God. I remember that I fell on my knees and sobbed, and sobbed. Then, as if from a place deep within me, maybe my soul, there rose the image of two powerful horses, one black stallion with the power of a battle or war horse, and the other was a silver-winged mare with a long flowing mane and enormous wings. I do not know why, but I recognize those images, the black battle horse and the silver white-winged like Pegasus, as part of me, as part of my soul maybe. And somehow I knew how to embrace the power of each as a representation of me and my soul. So I called them my inner hero, because the love and authority that exuded from my inner hero opened my capacity to understand and embrace myself more fully. So I called upon my battle horse to give me the courage and confidence to ask for what I wanted, and the white-winged one, the mare, the beautiful Pegasus, I called forth to take me to a higher place for greater vision and higher consciousness, or even when I needed physical healing or emotional healing. So the guidance and wisdom that came from my soul in the image of my inner hero inspired my whole new teaching. And that was many, many years ago, almost a decade ago. And today, in everything I teach, I always want to show you how to access your inner hero and the image that looks different for you, of course. So my mission has been to connect women with their inner hero so that they find their way back to themselves. The process is through heroic self-love, and it is part of of everything I do. So what is heroic self-love? It is the awakening of who you are through your heart's longing to experience yourself as love. That's the dream, and it's also reality, even if you don't realize it yet. Why heroic self-love now? Because the world needs you to step into your full power. I believe that women are the pillars of a new consciousness and need to lead the world into fearless cooperation and peace. Fear is the most destructive force on earth, and fear is on the rise. But the antidote to fear is love. Love is the most powerful energy in the universe. So it looks like love is the great healer. Wouldn't you agree? Then can you see that self-love heals the self? And can you accept that self-love restores you to your original self, the self whose essence is love? So let me ask you this. Do you find it easier to love somebody else than you love yourself? Yes? Yes? Most do. Why is that? Because we can love parts of somebody, usually the more lovable parts. And it makes us feel good about ourselves. We are pleased. But it doesn't work that way with loving ourselves, unless you fool yourself into believing you can hide parts of yourself from yourself. And yet, we all do it all the time by keeping the parts of ourselves that we don't like so much locked away and hidden. Let me give you a visual example of what we do. Imagine a room in your house that you don't want anybody to enter. So you lock it with 3 locks maybe and put security in front of the door for fear somebody may stumble into it and discover the chaos and garbage in there. What is the garbage? It's the garbage of your accumulated negativity. What negativity? The judgments, the blame, the guilt, the regrets, the lies, the doubts, the illusions, the shame, and on and on and on. Oh yes, better keep that room locked down and out of reach, right? But it's there, and you worry about it. You are afraid to go in it, God forbid, let anybody else discover it. You cannot be fully yourself. You are fractured. So you get used to wearing masks. that hide parts of yourself that you fear will make you unlovable. Can I ask you something? Yes? Okay, I want you to be honest and also watch for not wanting to go there, or just be aware that you may not just not know. That's okay. It's not a test, but an awareness exercise. So I have a couple of questions for you. How many of you were told by your mother to love yourself first? Maybe some of you, congratulations. How many of you were told by your teachers to love yourself first? Again, if you had a teacher like that, you have been blessed. And how many of you grew up in a religious faith that taught you to love yourself first? And how many of you grew up in a society that taught you to love yourself first? Maybe younger women, but most of us grew up, most of us more matured, older women, grew up believing that we had to love others first and behave in a certain way so that we would be lovable. Have you not been advised to fit into identities that defined you as the following? Maybe the perfect daughter, the perfect student, maybe the perfect wife. If you gave birth to children, be the perfect mother. And at the same time, maybe fulfill a job that at least pays the bills. You see how many hats we wear? It's not normal, yet it leaves you exhausted and wondering what comes next. What is the next role and identity you can slip into that hides who you really are? Don't you think that it is time to discover your true identity? I believe the time has come to embrace the full beauty and awesomeness that is your true self. And can you imagine how heroic self-love honors you in your wholeness and liberates you from outside authorities that constantly try to manipulate your mind for their purpose? So self-love is not selfish, but self-healing, self-empowering, and self-remembering. And there is no greater discovery than that. And this mostly dormant power within us must be awakened in you and in all women, so that we can heal ourselves, our relationships, our families, our communities, and on a larger scale, heal the world and bring peace, freedom, joy, and abundance. It's all there, just covered up by what's going on in the world today. We don't have the time here to go deeper into the mystery of your inner hero. But I hope we have established that your inner hero represents your soul self and therefore is your most incredible, wisest, and most loving support for anything you need or want, yes? Can you envision this? Can you at least consider that your soul knows you and your life's purpose beyond your mind's understanding? Your soul also knows the cure for any ailment you may experience. It knows the cause and the remedy. But how do you access this tremendous power? So here's the first step. You must become still and listen. Your mind shouts while your soul whispers. Therefore, you must dial down the noise of your busy mind and then amplify the voice of your heart and your soul. You may not remember that self-love came naturally to you when you were a little kid. You were pure, incorruptible, fearless, just like your soul. And you are still this divine child, just hidden under layers of your pain and your old wounding. All of us experience wounding. Yet you can choose heroic self-love to heal every part of your fractured self and return to wholeness. You can heal your body. You can heal your mind. You can heal your relationships. You can heal your life. I know it because I have experienced it in my life. Heroic self-love liberates you from everything that is not you. And why is that important? Because when you cannot fully express yourself as you feel fractured, even tormented. You have this precious life to live. Don't squander it. This is your life. This is about you. It has always been about you. You are heroic self-love. That love is you. I know because I am heroic self-love, and that love is me. And you and I, we are the same. What if today is that day when you decide to reclaim your heroic self? It is your destiny to be a warrior woman and maybe an illumined leader. The world may not know you like that yet, but your soul knows, and God has called your name. So why I'm so passionate about this? Here is my bigger reason. I want to inspire a movement that reaches millions of people to use heroic self-love to wake up to themselves. I am only one woman. Therefore, I need you, and I need to build this community that I have become part of. You are the woman who followed this call. You are here right now. So I want each of you to activate your inner hero and inspire other women to wake up to their inner hero and heroic self-love too. It's time to stand in your brilliance and be the shining light in the world that creates the shift in the world that we want to see. We are forerunners to that so that others can follow. Here is what I know for sure. We, you and me and all of mankind, are at a major crossroads in world history. We have chosen to be here at this tremendous time of upheaval and change. Can you feel it? Nothing is the same anymore, and it will never be, even though we know that change is constant. The change we are experiencing right now affects the entire planet, and some are very disturbed by this. We are shifting from a predominantly patriarchal male energy to the matriarchal female energy. The rise of the female is also the rise of love as foreseen by the elders of thousands of years ago, arriving at the time of the age of Aquarius. You remember it, right? We were singing about this decades about. The age of Aquarius began in 2012, and we are well into it for the next 2000 plus years. So rather than lamenting about the good old days, let's welcome that rise of justice that wants to rise, of equality, of community, of connection and collaboration as we, the females and wise ones, rise to bring about a new dawn, a new earth. We are the ones that we have been waiting for, and we are the ones that will heal each other and heal the world. Yet there is one problem. Too many women are lost in loneliness and despair because they feel unloved, unnoticed, undervalued, and invisible. We must change that. Next to living for my family, I live to transform women's lives from unhappy and lonely to connected and fulfilled. And God, the universe, has guided me to find my place at the Golden Life community, where I have the honor to do just that. I invite you to become a founding member of this community. You will hear so much about that, how to do that and how to join us. Because this way, together, we build a tribe, we become a family, where we lift each other up, learn and explore together, have fun together, and create the life that we forgot was possible or never believed could actually happen for us. How would your life be different now if you had this sisterhood, the support and the camaraderie you can count on, the friend or the friends that have your back and the ear to listen, and women who share the same paths that you are traveling on, the same interests. And beyond this, you have access to the many activities and courses that help your body get fit, stay fit, your mind to become more focused and relaxed, and your spirit to soar. Would you like this? Does this excite you? Are you ready to start a new and beautiful chapter of your life? No more loneliness, no more anxieties, no more confusion, no more fears, but safety and community and connection and lasting friendships. So this has been my rather long message to you. And now I would love for President Kelly to give you a quick tour of the online.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
No,
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 not
no, I'm going to go first because I'm going to explain what the Golden Connections is.
Yeah, okay. How amazing. The founder of this, like this would be possible. Kelly. Oh, yes, Kelly, please. Thank you so much.
Okay, hang on here a second. Okay, what I wanted to say was I wanted to explain to you why we even started the Golden Connection community. It was actually, I'm a 77-year-old disabled widow, and I've also been divorced and I'm now single. But through my lifetime, I have had so many challenges and so many experiences. Every time I've gone through them, I've always looked at it as what lesson was I supposed to learn? And I would always make lemonade out of lemons. So during the years, I decided that I'm going to look at my life and review what was going on. And I found that I had so many things that were going on. And recently I had a very severe health scare. And that scare, the doctors told me to put my affairs in order. And that scare put me in a position where I realized I need to be my own health advocate. And then I started looking at my finances. I need to be my own financial advocate. Hell, I need to be my advocate for everything in my life. And I wasn't. I was leaving it up to other people to do that. And I didn't really realize how valuable I really was. So after looking at all that, I thought there's got to be other women in the world that are experiencing the same thing. And I was in the hospital at 104 temperature, and I did a video on Facebook, and all I did was just talk about what I wanted to do. Well, it ended up getting over 100,000 views, and it was just on Facebook, 100,000 views and over 2,000 comments of women saying, oh my God, that's what we need. We don't need these communities where we're going to do bingo and things like that. What we want is women that want to roll up their sleeves and come forward and say, you know what, I am not invisible. I am not somebody that should be forgotten. As a matter of fact, in my lifetime, I did this, and that, and I'm proud of it. I wear that badge proudly. So I now want to move forward, and I want to say to you women, I'm proud of who I am. I love me, and I would love to help you love yourself. I'd love to help you put yourself into a self-advocacy position. Develop the strengths that you need to have and work with other women that based on what their strengths are, you can then move forward and combine your strengths together. Just think about it. A united women at the heart level around the world where we can contribute to each other with a mindset that we are going to lift each other up and help others as well. What a movement that is. What a great way to spend the rest of our lives in a contributing mindset. So dust yourself off, ladies. We want to invite you to be part of our world. This is a family of sisterhood. This is a family where we are coming together. So I want to show you very quickly just what it is that we've created. And then we'll go into the details. This is the Golden Life community. This is our landing page. We have a temporary page right now because we're building out the entire website. But here is who we are. This is our Goldens. Within the Golden Connections, it's a virtual community that offers a golden genius, like we explained with Dr. Tom, collaboration and co-creation, and another important key is communication. We are communicating with our Goldens, we call our members Goldens, we are communicating with them at the heart level so that if you're shy, if you are someone that feels afraid or you don't want to participate, you want to come out of your shell, we want you to feel safe where you're at. And then we have the natural progression is that if you're in a community where you're experiencing a wonderful time with women in a community there that you're developing things together, you're creating something from nothing, and you are feeling good about yourself, then the natural progression is if you're looking for housing, you're going to want to go into a housing arrangement. And I can't tell you how many people come together and say, I don't know what happened. My husband passed away. This happened, that happened. I got through a divorce. I don't know where to live. The housing prices are so high. Rent is so high. I can't afford it. I don't know where I should move to. What should I do? And with that in mind, that's how we created the Golden Spaces. That's where Scott came in. He had the same vision that I had. And we said, okay, fine, let's put this together. And I should add that with the Golden Spaces, one of the co-founders is Catherine Weinstock, and she helped to design the vision as well. So with the Golden Spaces, we have the physical living spaces, and that's for enriching worldwide interactions. Now, the way it works is that we're not selling real estate. Not at all. This is an opportunity for women to have a lifestyle change. And with that lifestyle change, once you become a golden member, then the natural progression would be to want to move into some place where other women share your strengths. And within our golden spaces, we have a live broadcasting studio. So we will be broadcasting live around the world so other people can see how you live in your golden space. Because that's the whole idea here, ladies. This is a golden journey. Where else could you have the opportunity to unite with women that have the same strengths that you do, and even different strengths where you complement each other, where you can share and embrace and hug each other? So that's all I have to say on my end. Now, I'm going to introduce you to Kelly, and Kelly's going to go over exactly how the connection platform works. So let me put a spotlight on Kelly here. Okay, there you go. Hi, Kelly.
Hello, everyone. I posted one of my favorite quotes in the chat from Richard Bach, who wrote Jonathan Livingston Seagull, that says, every person, all the events of your life are put there for a reason. What you do with them is up to you. And I was brought into this amazing team because of my geekiness. I'm 66 years old, and everyone is always saying, how come you're so geeky? How come you know so much about technology? I'm just extremely curious. And if I can find something that helps me do something better and easier, I'm all for it. But the reality is, I am a Martha Beck Wayfinder coach. When my life changed, major life change, divorce, bankruptcy, all of that stuff, I realized that what I really loved to do was to help women like me who are going through major transitions figure out what's next. And I became a Wayfinder coach with Martha Beck, who, if you remember, was the coach in O Magazine for many years. And what I found during that time was women tend to put their own things on the back burner or in a drawer or on a shelf in their closet. And I ran some groups called the So Do It salons for making it happen. And that's when I first discovered this platform, because I wanted our women to be able to come together in between our meetings. And I discovered this platform, which we are now building Golden Connections on. And it was created by a woman, which is so awesome, because not many tech spaces have women at the helm. And it is this corporation, I have to say, listening to Angelica, has the sensibility of the feminine, bring people together, listen to people. The people in Mighty Networks, which is the name of the platform, they listen to their hosts. I mean, it's pretty cool. We actually talk to humans at this platform. So it's private. It's really cool. And I've been on it for 7 years. So I came to this group because of my geeky side, but I fit in because I am someone whose bottom line is I'm all about community over competition. I'm here because I believe in the divine feminine and bringing, we learned how to be leaders at our grandmother's knees. I mean, this is who we are as women. I'm pretty passionate. I have my ERA button sitting right here. I wore this all through college. So that's why I'm here. I'm all about women. And I want you to use this online virtual community as if you're walking around your own little community. So I'm going to give you just a snippet of how to meander through our little virtual community. We're going to be having a new member gathering on Thursday morning, and we'll be doing those monthly. So we'll get really into the weeds there, but let me just share my screen with you and show you just a little bit inside our fabulous little community. And by the way, we believe in launching and learning. So that means if you see a misspelling or you see something that, because we're creating this, we're building the plane as we fly it. So here we go. And we need you to help us learn how to make it better, how to make it better for you. So this is a little video show. We're signing in with our faux member. She is Jane Jetson's mom. We call her Audrey. She's signing in here with a password. And when she lands inside of our community, she will be in our Soul Cafe. Here's our Soul Cafe. Isn't it pretty? Then she'll go into the conversations area. And in our conversations area, she can share a poll. She can ask a question. She can ask a multiple choice question. She can do a hot and cold poll or a percentage. And here's what those things look like. How much of your time is spent online or something like that? Are you a cat person, dog person, or both? How do you feel about winter? I'm in Minnesota right now. I'm not loving it. Your favorite song. So we can get the conversations going in our Soul Cafe. That's your first stop. Here are all the other members in the Soul Cafe. The left-hand nav bar is how you get around. Those gold diamonds, that tells you that's a collection. And inside of each collection is a space. The Soul Cafe is a space. Those top 4 areas are global. So that means they pull together everything that you're a member of. And we'll get, like I said, into the weeds during our new member event. The Golden Life Center, that's where everyone hangs out. Inside the Golden Learning, for instance, that's where the classes and courses will be, whether they're live courses or DIY courses. We've got circles. The Mind Body Center is where Angelica right now has an amazing course called 28 Days to Freedom, I think. And everyone can join that. Our circles are getting started. We've got one for widows, one for divorced people. And we're even inviting you to give us an idea of a circle you would like to start. Maybe you can run it yourself. We're asking right now, are you interested in joining one of these circles? They haven't begun yet, but you just have to pop in and say, yeah, I'm interested. Let me know when it gets going. The top one, Welcome Start Here, that's sort of our help center. This is where we talk about our about and so on. Oh, my video is going faster than I'm talking. So personal feed, that's the aggregation of all of the posts inside of the spaces that you're a member of. Audrey Jetson is member of the Soul Cafe. She's a member of Navigation and Culture, Mind Body Events. So you don't have to see everything that's going on in the entire network, only the spaces you're part of. Same with events. This is showing the events from only the spaces that you're a member of. So she is looking at today's event. She's also a member of the Mind Body event. So she's seeing that, oh, shoot, I better RSVP to that one because that's tomorrow. And she's looking at the weekly wisdom. She better RSVP for that so she doesn't forget it. She can also expand the event calendar to see on a calendar space which is what's happening and which ones that she's only RSVP'd for the Golden Hearts, so that's showing up in color. We also have some collections. We have the mental strength collection, which is Tom's area. That's coming soon. The pet connection, which Beth is in our event today, and she is the dog person. So the dog connection is going to be having conversations about our pets. Cat connection for cat lovers, and the rainbow room, embracing memories and honoring the legacies of our pets. The elite directory, these are the folks that are sharing their wisdom with us. And this is an example, that's me. These are a page that kind of gives us a little overview of each of us, what we are, what we were, and what we believe. And then we're going to be able to share, and these offerings are vetted. So Kathy and Angelica will be offering one-on-ones, and I'm going to be giving away to those of you that are attending today my Lift Vision Kit. It's a visioning product, not a vision board, but kind of. And actually, I have my one. It's this thing right here. It's similar. I'm going to give that away to you all. Golden Spaces. This is an update space where Scott and Kathy will keep you up to date on the building of the Golden Spaces. Scott will tell you all about that in a minute. And that's kind of the end of it. You can also see who is keeping up on the members. And one thing I didn't show you, but there's a really cool way. It's called People Explorer, where you can click on a profile of someone in here and literally, let's see here, literally the AI inside of our network will give you a sense of, or it'll take your profile and their profile and say, here's where the two of you connect. Like when I did it with Beverly earlier, it said the two of you care about women and development. And it's pretty cool because it will then allow you to reach out to that person and say, hey, I see that. Here's what we have in common. And you can use their suggestions or not. But our biggest plan here is that every month we're going to be having a town hall meeting where we will ask you, what do you want to do? What do you want to see? How can we encourage you all to connect with one another? Do you like Zoom meetings or do you hate Zoom meetings? Do you like chats? No, how can we help you to connect with one another? And we're real excited about getting going with creating this space to be something that serves you. I would love to take questions if there are any questions from anyone. Anybody have any questions for me about what you just saw? That was a real quick down and dirty tour of what we're creating. Anybody?
I just want to say that was absolutely excellent, Kelly. Thank you. That was really, really good.
Well, I'm in the chat, so anybody who has any questions, please feel free to ask, or I will see you in the network. Our event for new members will be Thursday morning, and it's another thing about the events in our network. When you look at your event, if you've put in your time zone, it will change to your time zone, and you don't have to worry about any conversions or any of those silly, annoying online things. So I hope to see any of you.
You might want to say though too that the founders and the elites will have the ability to be able to have their own events.
Yeah, absolutely.
In their own spaces.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. And I didn't really say anything about the Golden Genius assessment because that's still to come and I don't have all the details. That's going to be really fun. And I also didn't say anything about the fact that each month we facilitate conversations around various topics. And those topics, we're going to be asking questions around the Golden Genius strengths that the Golden Genius assessment brings out. So we're really kind of tying all of this together, and we want to have some of those interesting conversations that don't get had. This is a private network. No one is going to ask you, no one's going to sell your information. We're not allowed to do that, by the way, by our platform. No one's going to be selling to you. No one's going to be trying to, we won't allow any, what do you call those, trolls, Kathy?
Right, yes, trolls, yeah.
Allow
Yeah.
any trolls. It's totally private. That's the other reason we're here. That's important to me. I only do business with companies that fit my values, and
Mm-hmm.
Kathy's company does that. This platform does that. So
Well,
that's
that's because we want the safety. We want women to realize that if you're going to come to a space and you're timid or you're worried about that somebody is going to embarrass you or humiliate you or judge you, that's not what this space is about, because we all have issues. And if we all come together and we share it, this is a wonderful thing. So
very friendly, as my business partner says.
yeah,
Very much
yeah.
of it. And it's
You know, usually there's a lot of, when women get together, there's the cattiness, but when you get older, that doesn't happen. You turn all of that goes away and it turns into sisterhood. But the problem is that you lose all your sisters. Either they die or you move or something happens and you're left alone. And then the loneliness sets in, and then you're sitting around saying, oh my God, I don't have anybody. They're all dying like flies. I'm experiencing that myself personally. And I'm in the same boat. So it's like I crave a hug, just a hug, a physical hug from somebody. And Scott and Catherine came out to visit me, and I got those hugs, and I wouldn't let Scott go. I was hanging on to him. So the point that we are making here is that every single thing that we have developed is based on personal experience, and we want to have this community grow based on what your needs are, not what somebody tells you need, but based on what you need. So Kelly, you did an excellent job on that, and I think you and I are going to take a hike, and we're going to bring in Scott.
Mhm.
Oh, I think did JC, did he have a question? I don't know. I'm not sure.
No, it was a thumbs up only.
And I would also just like to remind you that I am going to be giving away these, sending them to you. Anybody who wants to play, likes to collage and play with vision boards and things, these are fun. Send me a DM in the chat and with your address, and I will mail you out a copy of this Lift Vision Kit. Maybe we'll do a class in the community and do it together.
Okay. I'm sorry, Jean-Claude, what did you want to say?
No, I was just saying that it was a thumbs up about what you were talking about.
Oh,
I make it
okay.
like a double one.
Okay. All right. Any other questions, anyone? Okay, so then we'll go with Scott now. So Scott is going to explain how the Golden Spaces works. And Scott is, might want to, I met Scott over a year ago. And a friend, Cindy Hetzel, she recommended him to me. She had met him, and I reached out to him on Facebook Messenger at 3:00 in the morning and said, Scott, I'd like to connect with you. And I said, let me know a time. And he said, well, what's the matter with right now? So we connected at 3 in the morning. So, okay, go ahead, Scott.
Okay, thank you, Kathy. I'm grateful to be here, and really appreciate Angelica's words in the beginning. And Kelly, I'm very impressed with the work on the platform. I guess if you're a geek in computer terms, I'm a geek in urban design. And so kind of as Kathy mentioned earlier, that, it's our experiences that have brought us here. And so if y'all don't mind, I'll go ahead and can I share a screen, Kathy? And I have a quick little slideshow I want to show. Let's see if I can. There we go. And so I'm going to go ahead and go all the way back to the very beginning of my experiences. I grew up in Clovis, New Mexico, and I only think that's important because at the time and age when I was growing up, it's probably similar to the way a lot of when y'all were growing up, we lived in places where we could ride our bikes, where we could go all over town. And by the time I was a young person, I had been all over Clovis. I did end up going to the let's see, is this thing in the way? Can y'all see the full screen slide on
Yes.
that? Okay. Did end up going to the University of Texas at Austin, where I got a degree in real estate and urban land development in 1983. I stayed in the Austin area and actually lived in a little town called Pflugerville. And so when I first got out of school, I worked for a commercial industrial developer for about 2.5 years. And during that time, also, I was a volunteer for the city of Pflugerville for about 15 years, and including serving 3 terms as mayor. And it was a volunteer position, so I had to make a living, and I did that by selling real estate. And I've been a real estate broker in the state of Texas since 1987. One of the things I was proud of, I think, in my involvement was envisioning the Pflugerville trail system. When I first moved there was only one little 7-acre park, and now there's over 55 miles of trails in the city. And then I served, my 2 terms and got out, and then was discovered this concept called new urbanism, which was a completely different way to look at the way we develop our neighborhoods, towns, and cities. And for me, it was a psychic change. For a long time, I didn't realize that there was a choice. I thought that we had to design everything for the car, and I thought it was important that we have arterials, and I thought it was important that we segregate our land uses. But what I learned through the study of new urbanism is that there's a thing called traditional neighborhood design principles, and it's the way we used to design our neighborhoods, towns, and cities when we were designing for people first. And these are some of the elements that are typically in traditional neighborhood design: public open space, convenient and accessible services by foot, diverse housing choices typically integrated together, diversity of roadways, streets that are able to be complete streets, because originally our streets were the public realm, and that's where we conducted business. That's where we ran into people. But then there's the conventional suburban design, which is a mayor of Pflugerville. I promoted that, supported that. Large lots, the hierarchy of streets, the segregated land uses. It seemed to make sense until I realized didn't know there was an alternative. And so I decided to run again as mayor of Pflugerville, and the rest of the city council didn't necessarily agree with me, so I didn't necessarily successfully integrate new urbanism into the policies of the city, but I did get to participate in building our long-term water supply, which is Lake Pflugerville. And then about that time, about 1.5 years, 2 years after my last term, El Paso was promoting itself as wanting to be the most car-free city in the Southwest. And my dad had a home building company there, and he was open-minded to let me try some things. So I moved to El Paso. One of my first developments I did was a little 4-unit condominium complex that was in a neighborhood that was platted in 1898. So it was right before the car was integrated into the urban form, so to speak. I did another cool development. This is the one that Kathy became aware of or found me through. It's a Piazza. It's 32 units. 9 of them are businesses. 23 of them are residential units. There's 5 different housing types within this small development, and it was very successful. It just has a really neat sense of place. Did another development. This is where I live right now. It's the Rio Valley subdivision. It's designed to be a walkable community, and one day it's going to have, hopefully within the next few months, we're going to break ground on some little commercial areas that will have some convenient shopping. But I left my dad's employment, decided to go back to school, started practicing in what one of our advisory board members calls an encore career. So I went and reinvented myself and became a certified city planner. And since then, and I realized that here I am, at a relatively late stage in life. I'm at that time, I think I was 65 years old, and it was time that I realized that I needed to make an impact. I needed to make a difference. And I know that the way we're developing our typical neighborhoods, towns, and cities isn't the right way. And so that's has become my pursuit. And fortunately, Kathy came along, and I'm getting to practice some of these things. And some of our defining design and use principles for our communities are: one, make it safe for dogs, because if we can make it safe for dogs, then it makes it safe for humans. The other is to reduce car dependency. Another one is to provide diverse housing, provide places for livelihoods, provide places that empower and nurture the growth potential for the residents, and to provide diverse types of public spaces, and also to grow food so that we're a more resilient type of community. And then in thinking about what the ideal community could be, I thought, well, we need to have diverse housing. So maybe we'd have 4 unit types. One would be a single room apartment. Another one would be a single bedroom unit with a complete kitchen, living room. Another one would be a 2-bedroom unit. And then the last one would be an estate unit. Those could be configured into 6 different building types. The shared housing would have 8 units. The single cottage would be a detached unit. You could do a double cottage where 1 unit is up and 1 unit is down. Another double cottage option is a side-by-side option, and a quad cottage with 2 units up and 2 down, and then also the state home. And then imagine how this could fit within a hypothetical community with, again, car-free dependency, which basically all the cars are on the perimeter of the community. This area along here, if you can imagine our typical arterial, this is where the property would front on an arterial. We've got our typical parking lots with these, what would be our non-residential buildings. Other than these, we'll have apartments on top of stores, restaurants. These are places where people could work. The little white boxes represent greenhouses where food could be grown. This long goldenrod color is a series of plazas that get punctured and interrupted with different building types. Maybe that's where a studio will be, where we're producing the broadcast that Kathy was talking about. Maybe one of them serves as a worship center. I mean, maybe one of them is a place where we can go and just congregate. Other places where maybe we can just learn different events and different skills. Again, the maroon housing types would be like the shared housing. The kind of golden brown are 2-story buildings. We allow the buildings to create the public space, if you will. So the 2-story buildings line this axis, and they also line this axis. And then the smaller yellow boxes are the little single family cottages, and then these gray ones over here would be like maybe the estate lots. And so that's kind of just a representation of what could be a hypothetical way that we could arrange all this. This particular design has 366 units. 25 or 30 of them, I think, are above the red area, so that the rest of them are primarily. I'm also imagining that past the first plaza that's on the left, everything is private back inside there, and it would all be gated and all be protected. We're also imagining that people could rent units. They can also purchase into the project, and each marketplace would determine exactly how that ownership structure would work. We've got dog parks. Some of them I'm hoping that we'll have ponds so that dogs can go swimming, and even places where people could swim with their dogs. We'll also have outdoor gardening area in addition to the greenhouses, and so hopefully it could be a self-contained type of community. In part of reducing the car dependency, we think that a lot of people, right now the average homeowner spends over 20% of their household income on owning, maintaining, and operating automobiles. Well, in this kind of environment, maybe you won't need an automobile as often, and when you do, maybe you can check it out from the auto pool that is owned by the community. Or, of course, there's also Uber and the other kind of rideshare programs that are out there. Here's some renderings of what the spaces could look like, and you can see how these buildings kind of form this public space right here. Here's another version of it with a little bit wider space, and these are all adapted to reflect the El Paso architecture and also the El Paso landscape. You'll see some mountains. And so it just has to me, a really inviting opportunity, place where you can just really go and enjoy the outside. There'll be benches, there might be exercise stations. Some of these trees might be fruit trees. Some of the spaces might be where you have your own private garden. Some of them would even be larger communal gardens. And it's just, you can see the mountains back in the background there. And I don't know, I could live there. I don't know if you all feel the same way,
Me
but
too.
the longer I
I'm
live
going to.
in this automobile dominated society, anyways, that's a whole nother story. I need some healing. Oh, I've got a typo. Next steps. We are having discussions with potential equity partners, and if y'all know of others that may be interested, we'd certainly like to hear from them. Our first development would be in El Paso. We've identified 38 markets where we think this could be successful. And so, but we're also willing to look at doing this in other places where if funding might surface in other markets. We're continuing to refine the individual unit designs. And so we'd like for any suggestions that people might have. And if it's something that there's some of y'all really do want to participate in helping formulate the way these units will be laid out, well, then we can even create a special group and use that as a way to collaborate on developing these. We're also looking for ways to provide small scale housing opportunities for, like, when more women decide that they want to share in creation of a community, we should be able to go anywhere and help make that happen. Women shouldn't have to leave to find the right kind of housing that they're looking for. And we do believe that this is something that is valuable. It's needed. The lifestyle that are opportunities that are in the design, with the ability for a resilient, self-supporting. I'm hoping the buildings can all be net zero energy, so that we're going to be a leader in the way we should start living in the future. And then also I want to mention on that landing page that Kathy showed earlier, we do have a link to a housing survey. And so we'd really appreciate everyone to take that survey as well. And I'm available for questions as well.
Scott, we have that link to the survey in the community as well. So anyone who joins in your space, which I think you will be the host of that space now, right?
Right. Although we don't have men in the spaces, the Golden Spaces is really like behind the scenes.
Yes.
So that people can see what's going on in the updates.
I'll have to wear a wig when I go to some meetings.
Scott always has such a good sense of humor.
Sometimes I'm the only one that laughs.
Yeah, right. Hi, Dr. Karen. Hi, Deborah. Okay. All right. Does anybody have any questions? Beth, do you have any questions? No? Okay. All right. Then now we're going to go to Beverly. Beverly is going to talk about why women over 55 need community. And I love listening to her, like I do Dr. Angelica.
Thank you, Kathy. And I am so excited. I'm sure everybody is. The more people that are talking about this wonderful community that we're building, the more exciting it is. First of all, for anyone that doesn't know who I am or what I do, I fell into helping people, and women in particular, kind of differently. I was working up in the north. I'm in Canada. And so when I say north, I'm talking about the Indigenous people really high. And art was really my field. And I was working as an art consultant, working with corporations. And when I was up there, bringing art into the community, understanding the culture, understanding what was going on with these people, I felt I could be doing more. And so I decided to go back to grad school. And there I was in graduate school, living my life, learning, which is something I love to do. And the more I learned, the happier I was. And all of a sudden, boom, my husband was hit with a lawsuit. There was a fraud in his company. And what happened was, because I was the wife, they attacked me. And I knew nothing about it. I was living my life. I was in grad school and everything could have fallen apart. What happened to me was I was fighting the system. I could have lost my marriage. We could have lost everything for 8 years. And I'm not even going to go into that whole part of it. But what happened to me when I came out of it was I realized my strength, because through it all, I took care of my elderly mother. I went through grad school. Because I also knew about publicity and working in theater, which I did, I also had a radio show. I continued to fight emotionally and literally physically, and fight a team of lawyers, the Toronto Dominion Bank of Canada, because they were attacking me personally. The whole thing ended to nothing. But what I realized through working with women as a clinician, which I've been doing for over 35 years now, was that everyone has a wake-up call. And my wake-up call was that I had to grow up, little girl. I had to take charge of my finances. I had to take charge of who I was. I couldn't just live my wonderful la 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 life, okay, doing what of course I wanted to do. But I realized the strength of all women over 50. 50 is just the beginning. We get hit with so many different problems as we go along. And every woman in all cultures has similarities. And when I met Kathy, it was really through my podcast, which I have, which is wonderful because I not only network and meet so many people, but it's getting an awful lot of traction too, because women are telling their stories. And it's all about story, and it's all about power and how strong we all are. It's amazing. And when I heard Kathy's story, which everyone knows, and how strong she is and what she's building for all of us, it's truly incredible. And because now I'm working online in all ways, I love this online community. And people can say, why? Why online? Like, how can you reach out? And what's the reason for only online? Well, when you think about it, look what happened to us during COVID. All our loneliness, all our aloneness, all our feeling of alienation was saved by these ridiculous little Zoom meetings where we would call friends, where we would reach out. And women, particularly women, who have given our lives to our children and our grandchildren, et cetera, what is there for us? I've heard this time and time again, where women say, older women say, you know, I love my children and my grandchildren to death, but what is there for me? Or I can't reach out. I have physical pain. I can't go to meetings. Well, this community that we're building here is there 24/7. You can reach out at any time. You can speak to like-minded people, people who are there who will help you, people who will move you on. And it's not only about help, because it's about giving back. And that's what community is. It's women helping women in a safe space. So when I was working in my office, why do people talk to me? It's because it's safe. And when I have a group, I have a Facebook group, it's a large group of women. People are coming in from all over the world. It's safe. Well, this community does more than that, because we're coming in from all different areas of life. And we have different segments that Kathy is developing. You can reach out for this. You can reach out for that. You can learn. And we're doing so much. As Kathy said, it's not just about a chat. It's not just like talking to your girlfriend. Because talking to a friend, you may be sharing things, or not wanting to share things because you don't know where it goes, even with a very good, close friend. But in an online community, what I've noticed is you can get very close with what you can actually believe is a stranger because you've never physically met. And I'm telling you right now, Kathy, I feel so close to you, and we haven't really met. I mean, personally.
I know, yeah, but we do give those virtual hugs, don't we?
That's
Yeah.
what it does. That's exactly what it does. And I know in my group, we've gone through illness. We've actually had someone die in the group. We've gone through grieving. I mean, this is all online, and women get it. That's amazing. I mentioned it to my husband, and you know what? He says, how can that happen? And then he says, yes, I guess people fall in love with letters. You know, they really
That's
get
because
it.
men don't talk.
That's right. They don't really get it. But women get it. And that's what we're building here. We're giving access to information, and we're giving empowerment, because when we're down, there's somebody else that has your back. There's somebody else that also says, yeah, I've been there. Yeah, I know what it is. Yes. Or you hear, I've had worse. And that, when you're helping someone and they've had worse, what's your problem about, really? Right? So this is what happens. This is what community does. And this is what we're building. We'll be able to talk about just about anything, and we're not condemned, and nobody's judging, and nobody even really knows unless you want to tell them. And so this is all about giving. And for me, it's my purpose, and it is my passion to help others. And I'm privileged to be able to have the tools to be able to do it. But I believe even without the tools, every person can help one another. We're all in there. We're all people. We're all humans, and we can all identify. And this is what this wonderful golden community is really all about. It's about caring. It's about giving. It's about sharing. And I'm just so privileged and so honored to be part of this, Kathy, and Angelica and Kelly. And when I listen to Scott, it's like I'm ready to move in tomorrow.
Yeah.
And if anyone has any questions, you know, I'm absolutely, I'd love to open the floor. If you have any questions about what an online community, or if perhaps you don't want to, you can understand it, but you feel uncomfortable about speaking online or anything like that, or uncomfortable with being in Zoom meetings, which a lot of people are. A lot of people don't want to have that camera in your face, you know, it's like, no, but it honestly doesn't matter. Even if you don't want to be seen, it doesn't matter, because the comments in the chat, just the fact that you're there, we're there for you. And the comments in the chat matter. So I welcome any conversation that has to do with online. It's wonderful to be able to speak to people all over the world, women all over the world, and to just keep sharing and to just getting that passion, because so many women over 55 have lost that. They've lost their identity. They've lost their passion. They're living day to day. And I've heard it pretty well, almost living your life waiting to die. And no, I don't believe anyone should feel like that. This is a place that's giving every woman a purpose. Thank you, Kathy.
Oh, well, thank you, Bev. Beth, did you want to say something? Because I see that you're unmuted. I would love for you to,
I'm sorry.
I would
that
love for
I
you to
didn't mean
talk for a minute.
Okay. Well, I'm Beth Miller, as you already know, with Wagtown. It's my nonprofit, and we work with communities to become more authentically and responsibly dog friendly. And I think, Kathy, you and I met through Spencer. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of hit it off, as many of you have mentioned. Kathy's one of those people that's easy to talk to, easy to connect with, easy to, you know, like match vibration and intent with. So it was sort of a natural connection for us in terms of how we felt about the impact of animals on our lives from a health and safety, responsibility, infrastructure perspective. And this project addresses all of the 6 tenets that I found through my research to be areas of impact and areas that need to be prioritized, so that when you triage what you're going to build, how you're going to program, how you're going to live, how you interact with each other, how do you provide resources and safety nets for each other, this is a perfect place to do a model for what we could have in terms of pets in our lives and how we could benefit from the impact in ways that we never thought possible. So I'm excited about that. People who I've spoken to about the project are interested. And so I'm pitching like, this would be a great pilot at such and such, kind of trying to get people in there. And they're very interested because it's a physical manifestation of Kathy's dream and everyone on the team to be able to, put another spotlight in this, spotlighting the lifestyle, the architecture and the way that it accentuates, and even like going into ADA thinking and how does that apply to having your dog there? How does water quality affect that? How does air quality affect that? How does the ability to get up and be active? How does it sort of promulgate those social interactions that happen when there's an animal around, but in my opinion, especially dogs. So we spoke on her show, The Dog Connection TV, which is this amazing platform for her to share just kindness around animals and fear-free thinking. And so it was just a natural fit for us to try to insert that benefit that helps us live longer and happier as a part of the experience. So Kathy, I wanted to thank you and everyone else. Tell your dog I said hi if you have one, or cat. And I look forward to that. I just sent you a note about talking about some infrastructure tweaks based on those people that are interested in getting involved, and then boosting safety and wellness and stuff like that. So lots of opportunities, especially when I see
Right.
the gardens next to it. Just it's going to be something else. So thanks for the opportunity to talk about that, Kathy.
Oh, thanks, Beth. And for those of you that don't know, we have made the golden retriever our mascot for the Golden Life community. Why? Because dogs, I have run a show since 2012, and we reached about 6 million people a month, or we did. And the idea was that a dog has the ability to change your life. And what better thing for women to have, especially when they become older, for companionship, for loneliness, for everything. A dog represents, and you're going to say, oh, what about cats? Well, we have cats in our community too, but a dog has the ability to be a service dog, to do things that can help. And these dogs will help these women understand that you're not alone. You've got a companion there. So we are working with the different organizations in the areas where we will be building to have the adoption centers or shelters, actually not so much shelters, but more foster organizations, so that we can foster those seniors that are living either in a shelter or a rescue or a foster, but mostly fosters, and bring them in and bring in those seniors to live with the seniors. So that way we'll have a program where all of the costs will be taken care of, all of the food will be taken care of. And if something happens to the dog, then we will help with maintaining how they'll be cremated, or how we will celebrate their life, their end of life. So anyway, the dog is just really important. So from this point, we're going to show you how you can become a founder, and then we're going to have a drawing where Dr. Angelica is donating a $25 Amazon gift certificate to anybody that is here. So first, let me share my screen, and I'm going to put in the Jolly Beth, if you could put in the chat a link to the landing page so that people can see where to go to. And I'll go back to this again. So this is the page that you're going to go to. And down here, you'll get a little bit of a description about what we just covered, but a little bit more for you to see. A little bit about the Golden Genius. You can click on these pictures so that they will become enlarged. And then what Scott had shown you in his presentation, some of these pictures are in there as well. This is where you would take the housing survey, and the survey is generic. It's more for you to be able to find out what are your housing needs going to be, or what are they going to need. Now, if you know someone that is also needing to get housing, you can take this test on behalf of your loved one or a friend and get the results for it. Now, and then of course, here we are. This is our mascot. That's Goldie. And then we talk about what we're providing. We're developing a full-blown website, but it's taken us a lot longer. And we didn't want to have a website out there that wasn't finished. So that's why we're using this landing page. And then, of course, what we're offering until April 1st is the opportunity to become a founding member. And a founding member is like a beta. You will come in and you will actually be hands-on working with us, helping us find where the kinks are, where the typos are, where this doesn't fit, that doesn't fit, making suggestions. So it's almost like you're an architect with us. And you will also be a founding member forever. It's $10 a month or $100 a year, 2 months free. And again, that's only until April 1st. Then come the first part of when we do our full launch, which will be the end of March. We will then be offering our full program, which are for our Golden Connector plans. And that will be at $49 a month and $490, but that's not available right now. The only plan that's available is the Golden Founders, because just like when you build a house, you have to build the foundation, you got to build the rooms. We're not completely built out yet. And we need your help to do that. So this is for women that don't mind getting their hands dirty and are willing to pick up a shovel and do something. And then, of course, we also have our elite plan, and the elite plan is by invitation only. And these are for women that have valuable services or valuable products that they are offering to women, and that they dedicate themselves to helping women. Dr. Angelica and I are interviewing these women to see if it's a fit for them, because you will be given a directory, you will be in the elite directory, and you'll be able to showcase who you are and what you do. If anybody wants to add anything into that, that's fine. And then, of course, our commitment is that this is your golden journey. So what our heartfelt commitment is. And this, of course, is a reminder. Did you forget to sign up? And then, of course, this is some of the weekly things that we have available. So this is our golden team. We've got Catherine, myself, Scott, and Angelica, and Kelly. And that's on our team. Here's our frequently asked questions. You can click down here so that you can see the answers for each of them. And then if you would like to schedule a call for more information, you can book a call with either Dr. Angelica or myself to go over more that you didn't hear today. So that's it. And like I said, I don't know, Beth, did you put a link in the chat?
I did not. Did you want it for what?
No,
Wagtown?
not you, Beth. Jolly
Oh,
Beth.
sorry.
Sorry.
I'm like,
sorry.
what was I supposed to do?
No, Jolly Beth. Okay, so
Popcorn.
now we're going to do a drawing. And Beth, do you want to share your screen so that you can go ahead and do it? I call her Beth, not you, Beth. I'm sorry, Jolly Beth. Okay, so now we're going to do a drawing, and she's got everyone in that is watching right now. And let's go ahead and spin.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay, all right. Beth, you end up getting one. Okay, all right. And we've got one more. Let's do it again. You know, we can't do Ralph. Ralph is in our team. We can't do Ralph, so let's do him. Let's do another one. Sorry. Yeah, remove him. Sorry.
Should have some music going. Oh,
Okay, Dr. Karen. Okay. Yay. Okay, so Dr. Karen, we're gonna need your hi, come on for a second. Let us hear you. Unmute. There you go. Hi, congratulations.
Well, thank you. What a pleasant surprise.
Yeah. So Dr. Angelica, if you can put in the chat where we can get a hold of you so that we can send you a $25 gift card.
I know
That
how
would
to get a hold of her because she is in the ageless
Oh, okay.
voices and in our project, just like Joyanne. So they're my sisters.
Okay. Okay. Great. 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 Okay. Wonderful. All right, everyone. That's the conclusion. If anyone has any questions, if you want to give compliments, that would be great too. Anything you want to say, that would be wonderful. Okay. That's it.
No reactions at all?
No reactions at all.
I guess that means we did it right.
Yeah, I guess so. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. It was a great celebration. Happy Valentine's Day and namaste to all of you. And may you be blessed over this wonderful Valentine's Day. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Kathy and everyone.
Okay, bye.